Yo, what's good, guys? What is happening? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Mad love and respect for passing through to today. All right, let's get straight to it, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on with Bitcoin? Well, it is the run for liquidity. There is no surprise here. It's the run for liquidity. You see, the crazy thing is, ladies and gentlemen, only, 24 hours ago, everyone was like, Bitcoin pump, 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 pump. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now everyone's making a run to the downside. Everyone's trying to run the shorts. What happens in these sort of situations, ladies and gentlemen, is when traders can't make sense of a direction, all they can do is place a trade and hope to deal with it in real time. That's not really what you want to be doing. All right? The move started from yesterday. Now, the consensus across the board is saying, yep, Bitcoin is going to go lower. That is true. Bitcoin is showing signs that it's starting to drop down. The key areas for in my interest right now, okay, are these pools of liquidity here, and of course the psychological ranges. Okay, we have come back into the psychological ranges. Now, Bitcoin, or should I say, these psychological ranges, understanding their purpose is going to help you and guide you into what to expect throughout the rest of the week as they are performing, as they are printing out. All right. So, for example, at the start of the week, the market maker sets the spread. So this is the range that he's going to be trading from. OK, now, when he moves away from the psychological high, all right, it's implying that he's favoring higher prices. OK, but if he's not moving away with conviction, he's obviously in the interest of marking up his shorts, which is what the basis was for this move to the upside that I was talking about. There was no conviction, which is why it was so important that price held above the 200 EMA in this zone. Yeah? Now, what we always got to try and consider as well, ladies and gentlemen, when price doesn't do what we anticipate it to do. See, when you see price rising up, people go blind and just focus on one direction. They're not focusing on what if it can't hold this move. What do I need to see for Bitcoin to continue up? Well, you needed to see the test of the 200. It didn't happen. Whilst that was developing, we were paying attention to the key notable interests at these zones. Look, how they initiated stop hunt, rise, drop, stop hunt, rise, drop, stop hunt, rise, drop again. The liquidity that they could have attacked earlier, they didn't go for it. Why? Because they had quickly got the traders committed to go long in this area here. So spike up, spike up, spike up. Okay? Marking up the shorts at key notable areas. The 44,000 zone was a key spot for them to build shorts above that zone, because that's what the market maker does. If you take the key 45 zone, the 44 zone right here, it's a whole number. So what is it that you would like to do? If you know that you're going to drop price, what is your thing that you want to try and do? You want to try and get as many orders up here and build as many shorts as you can, so that when it's time to release from this area, you've got the best fill and you can get the best the best value and close it at the lowest point from the highest range. Okay? This is what the market maker does. He builds his shorts above the zone, so that when he breaks through that area, the liquidity that he's trapped right here is there for him to offset and release his shorts. All right? Which is what has happened over here. Now, Bitcoin looks like it's actually following a mini M formation. Okay? Drop down, retrace, drop down. Okay? We are anticipating a retrace again in this area, but they could actually just make a run for profit to the downside. Fridays are quite notorious. They're either going to hold the range and anticipate the weekend to be another time where they actually start to build the positions more so they can set up for the next week, or they are going to make a run for profit. All right? So this is what we need to be aware of. Today can be a bit tricky. At the same time, we've seen this move to the downside and Bitcoin may not do anything else. This has to be considered. They've rejected the daily open right here, as you can see. And they've rejected the 50 EMA. All right. Now, with that being said, we do have wicks down here. And we've got this big wick right here. We know the story of wicks. If the wick is close by, they will likely try and take advantage of that. But what we've got to also understand is this. Everyone now is trying to run for shorts. So the market maker knows that he's got liquidity coming into the downside. So he now knows that he can build his longs lower because the liquidity is there for him to get. Remember, when someone goes short, they have to sell that contract. So who sells it? The retail trader. Who buys it? The market maker. When price is rising, when the retail trader, he buys it. And the transaction is initiated by who? The market maker. He sells it. All right? Again, you can only buy when someone sells. And you can only sell when someone buys. Okay? That's what's happening right now. Market makers are making a run to the downside, inducing the traders to go short, scaring people, making people believe that's it. Big crash is coming. Bitcoin's dropping. Cool. If you can capitalize on the move and the momentum to the downside, happy days. Okay. Looking at the book map, just so we can understand what's going on there as well. Over the past few days, we've been talking about the liquidity in and around the 39 zone. Okay. Look what's happened. There's not that much there, is it? There's hardly any liquidity at the 39 zone. Why is that? Where's the liquidity gone? We knew over the past few streams, ladies and gentlemen, we saw that there was tons of liquidity in this area. 263, 198. Now we've got at 38,301, 203 at 39. Where's that liquidity gone? They've moved it up. All right? But just because they've moved it up, does it mean that they feel that now price is going to move from this zone right here and bounce away from it? But we have to see how it plays out, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Looking at Ethereum. Ethereum is taking a bleed to the downside. Okay? She's following the pattern. We've got this previous pool of liquidity right here. Today's a profit-taking day for the market makers, because that's usually what happens on a Friday. They're either going to take profit or they're going to build positions and then get ready to release that profit over the weekend with a crazy move, or set it up for next week going into Monday and then set the trap for Monday and then follow through again on the Tuesday. All right? Looking at the sentiment across the board with the altcoins themselves, we have Carver doing extremely well. Now, we spoke about Carver a couple of days ago in the video with the altcoin bosses, okay? And we said that if the momentum is going to appear, what did we say about vector candles in this area? You'd want to see vectors coming up. Look, vector zone right there. And they've drifted away price. Another vector candle. So is Carver getting ready to make another attempt to the upside? Because the strength to the downside right here has then shifted the candle back up again. They've moved out of the zone. Are they fulfilling the pattern? Can you see it? And yesterday when we did that video, a couple of days ago when we did that video, we was talking about the idea of focusing on coins that are pulling back, that are trading negatively. So that day, Carver was trading down like 5-6%. Now it's trading up 10%. Okay? So do the same thing. Go and have a look at coins that are trading negatively. FTM. Look at that. This coin has got strength. It's been moving up. Now it's dropping down. We've been expecting this movement. So every move that FTM makes right now is going to be critical, because at any point it could start the initiation to move back up towards the upside, because there's already a trend in place. You can see they've got the W formation. Let me get rid of all this here. You've got the W formation right here. You've got the shift out of the zone, and this appears to be a level 1. So in order for this to be a level 1, price would need to actually lock the peak formation and move away from this zone. It can come deeper. It can even come down to the 200 EMA, because that's where liquidity is at. They can even drop it down all the way down to here and still bounce away from that range, as long as they stay in line with the peak formation. If it goes beyond this zone and goes way beyond here, the cycle itself will be reset and we'll be looking for different plays. Okay? But this is on the basis that FTM can hold this range. If it holds and closes above the 50 EMA and the 5 and the 13 EMA can cross over, happy days. They can cross back over, then movement to the upside is inevitable. Okay? but focus on coins that are pulling back, because these coins that are pulling back were the ones that were performing good the day before. Okay? Cadena. Look at that. Coming all the way back down. Coming into the previous pool of liquidity right here. Notice how they literally just pinned that zone right there. They haven't gone down towards this pool of liquidity right here. Blue vector candle could imply that the interest is starting to increase at this point. They are now effectively trying to test the strength at the psychological high. We've got this pool of liquidity right here that they may want to try and come back to. So we are now testing. Again, you want confirmation that the move to the upside wasn't just a weak move. You want to know if it's got strength, and the retraces will always determine the strength, because the deeper the retrace, okay, the more likely that this move to the upside was fake. All right, it was just a markup to quickly get some shorts built at high prices. Look, you've got here 1, 2, 3, and 4 hits to the high. Marking up the shorts, trapping the longs, aggressive movement to the downside. Okay, render token, much deeper drop. Look, it's now come down all the way. See, this pattern right here is still valid. This W formation is still valid because it hasn't broken the previous peak formation right here. It hasn't broken this range. If it breaks down below this range and ends up towards the range daily low right here, it would completely wipe the cycle. Level 1 and level 3. So when we're talking about cyclical behavior, level 1 away from the W formation, okay? And then, of course, the M formation at the high point, all right, which is level 3, are always going to be the most difficult levels to establish, okay? So when you've got a level 1 retrace, you're wanting to work out if it's going to come back up again, all right? But what if they actually keep moving price down lower and lower and lower? Like, what if they keep going down and down and down? Level 1 is still valid, even if it comes and taps this zone and bounces away from it. That is still a valid level 1. It's just a deeper level 1, and it means that they've been building more and more positions so that they can anticipate another move back up, okay? But the deeper the level, all right, the more work and more commitment by the market maker is required to come in and start shifting out of the zone. Okay, so keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Going over to the big three again, Bitcoin, sorry. Having a look at the price action right there. I always do that. Again, there's liquidity for them to take. The question is, are they going to have it? And in light of the cyclical movement to the downside, you can see it's a small M formation, drop level 1. By principle, we are expecting a drop level 2 to come all the way down to this area right here. But the bigger picture would imply that we are still in line for the drop to the downside, a bigger drop, which is what we are expecting. And if you go back and watch the previous streams, you'll notice that I marked off in some of the charts that we were expecting 3 hits, because if they're going to support this range, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a third hit. That third hit is going to be the setup, and if they can hold this range, okay, and not release to the downside, i.e. Steve's zone, okay, then we will be reset on the cyclical movement from up here. Okay, you can see that we've got the M formation. Now, there's levels and there's cycles on different time frames, but they all make up to the bigger picture. So when you look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see what we've got here. You can see the big M formation. You've got drop level 1 right there, okay? Now, with that being said, we've got drop level 2. So then we expect a drop level 3. So in this area here, on the 4-hour, is a bigger cyclical setup, okay? So it's not out the woods just yet, guys. We can't be expecting any longs just yet. They're not finished. All right. So keep an eye out on your trading, ladies and gentlemen. 50 EMA has been rejected on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to wait and see if they are going to base out in this range or go down lower. All right. Mad love and respect to all of you. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch up with the streams next week. And I will catch up with you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Peace.